Welcome to the Young Money Podcast. My name is Diana Menezes.
And I'm Vince Galanco from wheninmanila.com. And this is the Young Money Podcast where we talk to the young at heart to hear about their what they're doing and how they are earning the money. That's the unique thing about our shows. We ask the hard to ask question as to how much are you making,
Yeah.
and we ask them to show us the money. And
Yeah, and inspire us to be just like you.
exactly,
Basically.
exactly. Both because most of the time the people we talk to are very happy in their
Mhm.
career choices where they are today. So they usually have a lot of inspiring things to share, but also they're at least somewhat financially secure. I
Yeah.
think at least if you don't have to worry about that, then you can focus on other things in life.
And our show also helps people like because the guests will tell the myth of certain things that you believe that is like, oh, this is so glam. Being this particular profession is like amazing. And then our guests come in and say, this is the hard work you gotta do. There's no
Right,
magic
right.
in here.
Exactly. Yeah, I think for most work, you think it's easy, but I remember when I
Mm,
was younger, I thought like, oh, models, they just have to be pretty. It's so easy. And then you
correct.
realize how hard it is to maintain. They have to be on
Mm.
diet 24/7. Even the pressure of being in front of people and walking and not tripping, as simple as that. So there's
And
always little
auditioning, having
nuances.
confidence about when
Yes.
ever be
There's
getting
there's
rejected.
little things that you don't quite understand in every industry. So
Yeah,
it's great to hear from people who are actually in it and actually successful. And I'm very
correct.
excited about our guest today because
Me
he's sort of
too.
a coach to me as well when I ask
Nice.
about crypto. Crypto is a huge thing right now.
Yep.
Supposedly, if you are putting your money, your hard-earned money, in a bank, you're supposedly wasting your money because it is
I
earning
know.
close to nothing,
I
but
heard
they
that.
say it
Yeah.
is safe and you earn so much more if you invest into cryptocurrencies. But don't take my word for it. I am still learning myself. So you want to get yourself a good coach when it comes to
Mm.
cryptocurrency. And that's who our guest is today. I have a good friend of mine. His name is Chris Tan, and he is well, he's an entrepreneur in many different things. I actually met him through blogging and vlogging back in the day, but today he is a crypto coach amongst other things and investor.
Nice.
He's a big investor. His last advice to me was to put in most, if not all, of my savings into crypto. I'm slowly doing that. So here we go. A good friend of mine, Chris Tan, our cryptocurrency coach. Hey, Chris, how are
Oh,
you?
I'm good, Vince. How are you guys? Hi, Diana.
Hi, Chris.
So, Chris, I gave a very, very brief, vague intro of you. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Sure. I call myself a serial entrepreneur. I've been into a lot of different businesses. I've never had a job actually. I've always had my own business, and from production to real estate to
Wow.
owning boxing gyms to spas to pretty much everything. And recently, I got into cryptocurrency, and that's what I do now. That's it,
So,
crypto.
so you are a serial entrepreneur.
Yep. Well, honestly, I was a serial entrepreneur until about 2015. And
What
then
happened then?
I just, I think I lost my passion for for business or just doing what I was doing, which was media at that time. And then I became a life coach. After I became a life coach, I discovered cryptocurrency in 2019, and that's where everything changed.
Which is sorry to interfere, but it's a little bit of a life coach as well because you now have to convince people that that's the future.
Oh, yeah, you're right, Dan. Actually, so funny was I was a life coach first talking about personal development and everything, and then when I discovered cryptocurrency, I used a lot of my life coaching skills to be able to help people invest in cryptocurrency and make them understand why cryptocurrency is very important. So basically, more not just health but also financial health.
Mm.
And
I like
um
that.
and with that, can you start off by telling our listeners and viewers I mean, especially those not familiar, what is and why is cryptocurrency important?
So let's start with why is Bitcoin important. Bitcoin was the first successful cryptocurrency created, and it was created to answer a lot of the problems we have in the world right now. A lot of the problems we have is based on our financial systems and our monetary system. Financial system includes banking and how we right now, a lot of Filipinos especially, are unbanked, number one. Number two, the problem with the banking system is it's actually corrupt, it's abused and misused, and also mismanaged. So the financial system benefits bankers, not the people that have the money. Number one. I mean, think about it. You guys have your money in the bank. You don't earn
Mm.
money off your money. The bank earns
Yeah.
money off your money. So that's one big problem. Number two, the financial system. Sorry, the monetary system. The problem with the monetary system is that the fiat currency, which is the Philippine pesos or the US dollar or any other currency you can imagine, is always going down in value. It's being debased because governments do not know how to manage our money as well. They keep printing more and more money, and that's a big problem. The more money printed, the lower the value of the money, meaning the prices go up. As you guys notice, gas went up from 44 to 68 to 70 pesos per liter right now. It's insane. In the United States, they printed 40% of the total money supply, okay, in the last 18 months. Put your head around that. 40% of the entire supply of money in the United States was printed last 18 months ago. Can you imagine how crazy that is? So, because of that, Bitcoin was the answer to all the debasement of money, and it's the evolution of money. And that's why cryptocurrency is very important right now.
The
That was a
evolution of
very,
money.
I have not had it explained to me like that. Thank you for
So
that.
nice.
That was a
So
very, very good explanation. I like how he threw in the life coaching with the cryptocurrency coaching. That works out well.
so
Um,
good.
so now for people who are just who are just slowly learning about cryptocurrency, what are the first steps they should take?
So the very first step that they should take is actually just put their savings into crypto, into Bitcoin. I would specifically into Bitcoin because Bitcoin is the safest store of value. And not only does it store value, your assets actually appreciate in value. If you think about it, Bitcoin is the best asset to invest in right now. It is so good that over the last decade, if you ask Google, what is the best performing asset? It'll say Bitcoin. Actually, can I do that right now for you guys? I'm going to show you.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay, Google, what is the best performing asset of the last decade?
Bitcoin. According to Yahoo Finance, Bitcoin becomes best performing asset of the decade, returning 10 times more than Nasdaq 100.
So, can you imagine
10
that?
times more.
Not only is it just 10 times, so it returns an average of 230% per year. Year on year, 230% return for the last 10 years consistently. No asset has ever given you that kind of return on your money. So imagine if you put 100,000 pesos, every year it grows to an extra 230,000. So you'd have 330,000 pesos at the end of every year on year for 10 years. That's how crazy it is.
nice.
That
You convinced
that
me
is a
already.
lot to wrap your head around, especially for people who aren't investing into it yet. I guess what are
Yes.
some of the fears? Because you make it sound you're of course a believer in it 100%. You've studied it, you
Yeah.
understood it. But for someone just getting into it, you can't help but have hesitations.
Yeah.
So if there's a tita out there, a lolo who's
Yeah.
who's hearing about this, but they're not quite sure, what are the usual hesitations?
Okay. So the usual hesitation is it's going to go to zero. It has no value. It's a scam. I don't understand it. But here's let me throw this at everyone. Bitcoin is going to grow in value whether you understand it or not, whether you believe in it or not. It doesn't matter. Bitcoin is going to keep going up in value whether you do it or not. So the only
Mm.
question you got to ask yourself is, are you going to be a part of it when it grows in value, or are you going to be watching from the sidelines going, what happened, where did it go, and just looking from down there?
Mm.
That's the only thing that you got to think about, because Bitcoin was created by the smartest people in the world. And the smartest people in the world, the biggest hedge fund managers, are now into cryptocurrency. These are the smartest developers, the smartest investors, and they're now all into crypto. So if they're confident enough to throw in hundreds of millions to billions of dollars into Bitcoin, shouldn't you be doing the same? These are already the richest people putting their money in. One crypto evangelist, his name is Michael Saylor. He put in $2 billion into Bitcoin. It's now worth about 6 billion. So if
Grabe.
he's putting his money in, wouldn't you want to do the same?
So
Mm.
Chris, You did mention one of the fears is what if it goes down to zero? Is
Yeah.
that a possibility? Is it possible that Bitcoin might be worth nothing next year, tomorrow, one day?
Um, there is one possible reason why Bitcoin could go to zero. That's if, let's say, the entire electrical grid, all the power in the entire world shut down and we have no electricity in the entire world, then Bitcoin might go to zero. Might. But then again, if the entire world goes without power or without electricity, I think Bitcoin would be the last of your worries because we would have the apocalypse right here.
Yeah, right, right. Okay, okay.
Okay.
So Diana, you host a
Yeah,
crypto show.
I
Do you
have
have
an
some?
online show about NFTs. It's called Mug NFT Marketplace now. It's for a company that makes tokens here, and then they wanna, yeah, like we talk a lot about like the value of a country recognizing, or the even the government
Mhm.
recognizing any type of token that was created by that particular individual, so that it becomes popular, since it's just basically supply and demand. So ganon, like I'm still learning, so I just go there for my skills of hosting. I'm never gonna tell you that I understand everything, no. So I'm just really like serving my purpose, but
So
I'm so interested in it.
are you
Yeah.
investing yet, Diana, into crypto? Do you have a little bit in crypto yet?
I have a little bit, but I don't have. I want to get a Bitcoin. I want to
You
get
should.
Bitcoin. Yeah, I really want to get into it. So
So
really,
let's do. What are your other hesitations, Diana? Because I
no
want.
no
I,
hesitations.
oh no, okay. No,
Yeah.
so but why haven't you invested a little bit more? Because it sounds like you just have a very little bit in it.
I just started that show like 2 months ago, so it's
Mm.
pretty new. So I'm like really learning everything now. But I will definitely do that. Yeah.
So Chris, for someone like me and Diana who are just starting out, so we
Mhm.
Starting
understand it.
out. Yeah.
We do understand the value. We do hear from smart people like you, and plus the smart people you mentioned that they're all
Mhm.
investing into it. So for someone like us who's just getting into it, what do you recommend? What should we do?
Well, definitely get yourself into Bitcoin. Get a bit. If you can get a full Bitcoin, get a full Bitcoin. All right.
Okay,
That's like buying a condo, for example.
Mm.
Bitcoin now is about 3 million. Let's say buying a small condo, but that small condo
one Bitcoin is 3 million right now.
about 3 million. Yeah.
Oh my
So
god. Okay.
Talaga? Oh my
yeah,
god.
but I want you to imagine. Okay, if you bought a condo at 3 million, maybe it'll take you about 5 years to 10 years for it to be about 6 million, right?
Correct.
If that, yeah, if
Yeah,
that.
if
If
that, right?
that. If
Yeah,
that. Tama.
and you have to maintain it, and you have to pay your association dues monthly. You put it in a Bitcoin, all right, one Bitcoin. By next year, that 3 million is going to be worth 6 million by next year, by early next year, by the first quarter, and by 2025, that 3 million you originally invested is probably going to be about 60 million.
What?
Wow.
You say that with such conviction.
I have the
I feel like
conviction.
I'm losing money right now. These few
You
Me
seconds that my money
too.
is not in Bitcoin. I feel like
May I
I'm
say,
losing
I have
money.
a condo that I've been trying to sell ever since the
Can we
pandemic,
end
and
this
I
podcast
never
real
sold
quick?
it.
And
And
then
no,
just
that's
let
like
me
11 million sitting down there,
yeah.
doing nothing.
Yeah, you're right that the problem with real estate is that it's harder to sell. But with
So hard.
Bitcoin, it appreciates in value. And if you want to sell it, you can, like that, sell it in an
Hala.
instant.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it.
Ay, sumakit yung ulo ko.
so Chris, for me and Diana and for our listeners, I want to ask you, of your savings, 100% of your savings, how much is in the bank? How much is in crypto?
So I put it this way, I the only money I have in the bank is for my expenses. And that's it.
Just for your, so you have no savings in the bank pretty
So
much.
so by December 2019, when I first discovered Bitcoin and my mind was blown, I literally canceled all my insurance, sold my mutual funds, sold my stocks, sold everything. And I threw
Wow.
everything I had into Bitcoin on December 2019. And
What
I have no regrets.
so I'm curious for you, why was it an instant revelation, or was it because like for me it's slow. It's, I mean, I heard about it
Ako din
months
ang
ago.
slow. Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah,
I didn't jump into it like the way you're sounding like you did. What
yeah.
what
mm,
was it for you? How did yours get flipped in snap of a finger?
Yeah. So when I heard about Bitcoin, I did my research naman. I actually did a lot of research. I researched for about a month and a half into it. And what I do when I do my research is I do, di ba most people, I don't know if you know this, we have confirmation bias. Meaning if you believe in something, you will ask the questions to support your bias, right?
correct.
I'm the opposite. When I believe in something or when I'm curious about something, I have a
You look
contradiction bias.
the
I will
contra.
yeah, I will Google the opposite. So I Googled,
Mm-hmm.
is it a scam? Is Bitcoin going to zero? Bitcoin has no value. Bitcoin is a pyramid scheme, blah blah blah, all of that. And after doing all that research, I found the exact opposite. And at that point, that's when I went all in because I was like, oh my God, this thing is so big. It is such a game changer. I cannot miss this opportunity because in every generation, we have one opportunity like this.
Talaga.
And
That's so
yeah,
amazing. Thank you.
imagine in 1990, the internet was born. And if you could have invested in Amazon.com back in the 90s,
Oh,
that
yeah.
$1 lang investment sa Amazon is worth $3,000 today.
Wow.
But we lost that opportunity. If you could have invested in Apple that back then, you would, but you didn't know. So
Mm.
we have that opportunity right now. We are at the cusp of this new revolution, this new technological shift, and we have a chance to make our millions, hundreds of millions. So why not do it now? That's why I went all in. Why wait? So imagine if I had been putting a little bit every month. So that back then, December 2019, Bitcoin was only at $7,000. If I had waited till today, I would be putting $50,000 for one Bitcoin versus $7,000 for one Bitcoin. That's the
Mm-hmm.
difference. So that's why I
Wow.
just went all in. No more monthly, and I just threw everything at it.
Wow. And that is intense.
I'm
So
writing
now
down.
a bit more advanced again for the people already familiar, maybe like me and Diana, somewhat familiar. Um, where does diversifying come in? Do we put everything in Bitcoin, or are you
Okay.
recommending, a mix here and there with the
Okay.
different types of coins?
So for a lot of the beginners and newbies, I would seriously only recommend Bitcoin because Bitcoin is a very safe investment. Don't worry, it's not going to zero. Well, at least the probability is very low, and you still get a massively high return compared to anything else that you can invest in right now. So that's the one I would recommend, 100%. I have that much conviction to it that I threw my money where my mouth is.
Mm.
Okay, so just putting it, and then for the super
Ethereum
advanced like
also,
you,
right?
I'm sorry,
Oh,
go ahead, Diana.
yeah, actually, Diana, you made a good point. Ethereum is also excellent because of the network effect. There are so many people and so many apps being developed on the Ethereum network right now. NFTs are all on the Ethereum network. So that's why
Mm.
Ethereum is so valuable. Because of that, Ethereum is also going to go up in value. It's right now at about $4,500. I,
Oh,
I expect it to do about $10,000 within the first quarter of next year. It should be $10,000. And I project it to be at least $20,000 for Ethereum in the very near future.
nice.
So for someone even further advanced than me and Diana, already putting their crypto, their money into crypto, do you recommend diversifying?
Um,
Do you, or
no,
or how about
no,
you? What's your strategy? No,
no.
just
For
Bitcoin.
Oh hell yeah! I mean, unless you want to do this like what I'm doing, which is I spend my entire day on crypto, then you can diversify. But if you're just using it to be able to invest your money, that's so you can focus on your passions, so you can focus on your work, so you can focus on what earns you the income, so that you can invest in Bitcoin or in crypto. Then stick to Bitcoin and Ethereum at the most, and focus on your craft, your passion, what you're good at. That's what you should focus on. You shouldn't throw your focus on Bitcoin and Ethereum. You look at it as an asset. I mean, when you bought your condo, then are you focused on your condo or are you focused on your work, what gets you the money?
Yeah, my work.
Exactly. So that's why I don't believe in diversification, because cryptocurrency is not supposed to take up your time. It's supposed to be able to free up your time so that you'll have more to be able to do
Make
what you
money for
love.
you.
Right. Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. Let crypto make money for you. So Bitcoin will make money from your money for you while you're earning from something
Yeah.
else. Yeah, so
I
that's
have a
Very
why.
question.
nice.
A super beginner question. For example, if a person would like to start investing on crypto, and then they, of course, naman, like normal, ordinary people that are not into it yet, they'll be like, "Where's my ROI? Where's my return here?" Diba? They're gonna maiinip sila. So
Yeah,
especially if you put a lot of money in it. So
yeah.
how does that process go with people that are newbies? Like, when am I gonna see? Because you're gonna see the return, but you have to actually also withdraw it or sell it.
Yeah.
So so how does
So,
that work? What do you advise?
well, for Bitcoin, I don't recommend you sell it. Why sell an
Mm.
asset? It's like buying a property in Forbes Park in the 1950s. Are you going to sell that? You're not going to sell
No.
that. You're going to
Yeah.
keep it until it hits today, where it's now, a property before Forbes was worth only 100,000 pesos. Now it's worth what? 200 million pesos. I mean, that's
Crazy. Yeah.
exactly the same as Bitcoin. Never sell an asset that appreciates. So if people are saying, I want to sell it and turn it back to cash because I'm going to buy what? A car?
Mm.
That's ridiculous. Why would you sell an asset and buy a liability?
Yeah.
Diba? Something that's growing versus something losing money every year, it
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. So I don't recommend that. For people that are naiinip, right? I can't
Mm.
imagine
Or
maiinip
they
ka with
need
Bit.
money, diba?
Well, okay, to begin with, you shouldn't be investing money you need to use tomorrow
Mm-hmm.
because that's stressful.
Yeah.
So if
Of
I were you,
course.
you
But
only put money that
teaching people lang, diba?
that you don't need.
Yeah.
So let's say I always tell people this. For example, if your listeners are, for example, making 20,000 pesos a month, right? So I'd recommend take only 10%. So 2,000 pesos. Actually, kung 20,000 you need it for your expenses, maybe only 1,000, 5%. But when you do if you're earning above 20,000, let's say 50,000 pesos a month, then I'd suggest if you can do 20% of your income going into investments like Bitcoin and crypto, then that's good because 20% is about 10,000 pesos. So that's a good 10,000 pesos, a good investment every month that you can
I
place.
watched your video that you talk about that. And I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
that
Oh,
video. Yeah, the
right.
50,000 pesos income and then how much you should invest. Can you
Yeah,
tell? I'm trying to write that down actually
yeah.
because it's so
So
interesting.
So the good thing about that is when you invest only 20% of your income at 50,000 pesos or more, if you make 100,000, I would suggest you put in 30 or 40% na, and just be able to spend money that is less than what you're making. That's the idea.
Mm.
So that actually starts to grow. And then when you invest it in Bitcoin, which appreciates 230% a year on average, let's just say
What?
200%, 200%. So your 10,000 pesos a month, right, is
Mm.
120,000 a year, right? That 120,000 will grow to another 240,000. So that's going to be 360,000 by the end of the year. So you only put in 120 and in 1 year, you have 360,000 in your bank account. I mean, wow, that's
Mm-hmm.
insane. So that's what you should do. And that's what I would recommend to everyone. Just keep putting money. People for some reason that don't have the discipline to put money every month. Pero if it's an
Mm.
insurance, for example, where you sign a contract with the insurance company,
Correct.
you'll
Oo
put
nga.
every month. 'Di ba? Kasi
You could do that.
mape-penalty ka eh, right? So that's
Mm-hmm.
why the insurance companies makes a cut from your investment because they're forcing savings. So if you can do that
Mm-hmm.
on your own, I actually did a computation. I compared how much money you put in insurance monthly, and then if you just put it in Bitcoin, oh my God, it's night and day. The money you make when you put it in Bitcoin is a gazillion times more than what you'd make in insurance or mutual funds or stocks or even property, anything.
I have a question on that. But how do people like so gulo ng question ko. Wait lang. Ayusin ko. Like this. Kasi diba, at least when you get a like insurance company, you're really getting charged. So it's
Yeah,
like it's almost like you have someone doing it for you.
right.
When it comes to crypto, is there like a service or
Okay,
someone who
I
will
love the
come and say,
question.
I need to get this much from you every month
Right,
to make sure you're still investing? You know what I mean?
right.
That's why ang gulo ng question ko.
Yeah. So
You
so
got it.
with with cryptocurrency, there's nobody doing that for you. We really
Mm.
encourage people to have custody of their money. So nobody, if you ever get anyone calling you saying to you, Diana, no, that give me your money, I
My
guarantee you're gonna
financial
make money.
advisor.
No, no, don't give them your money. If anyone says to you, give me your money and I'll make money for you in crypto, do not give them your
No.
money. That's a scam.
I learned that
Okay.
in a very hard way, but sure. Thank you.
Okay, good. Okay, so sorry for too late the advice, ano, pero yeah. A lot of people get scammed kasi they think, I don't want to do it. I want somebody to take care of it. No, that doesn't work that way. Bitcoin, you manage your own money. So that's important. Very, very different.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. Um, Chris, you used to be sort of an investor. You invested into different businesses and all that. I'm curious now. Do you still invest into businesses?
Okay, so that's Vince. That's such an excellent question because I think we talked about this. No,
Yep, yep.
previously. So ever since I got into crypto, I've been offered a lot of different types of businesses: a car dealership, a shrimp farm, agriculture, and land. We were looking at some land, and then I compared everything. So imagine a car dealership. Uy, parang gandang negosyo yan, di ba?
That does sound pretty interesting. Yeah.
Right. So I looked at the ROI of a car dealership. We're looking at least 5 to 10 years to get my money back, just to get my
Right.
money back. And I said, wait a minute, if I put it in crypto, oh my God, not only do I get my money back in months, I double it and triple it in months. So I'm like, it doesn't make sense. So I couldn't invest. I had to tell the people I can't invest because you look at what gets you the best return for your investment. And the best return I get in my investment is crypto. Even land. I wanted to buy a property in Siargao. And I'm like, but look at the investment here and look at the investment here. This was just so much better. How can I say no? So I don't invest in business anymore. Nobody could ever convince me to invest in any business.
Oh
With, with
no.
with the numbers you're throwing out, I'm finding it hard to invest into anything because
Yeah.
if a
Yeah.
business comes to you, and this is advice for anyone, if someone comes to you and says they will give you your money back in less than a year, that is a
Oh.
scam. I, other than crypto, like
Yeah.
it's very rare, and you can't even
Topic mo
plan
na
that
ako,
out.
parang personal na yan.
Yeah, that's very rare for a business,
Yeah.
and you usually can't plan that out. That's usually a freak, usually
Totoo.
chamba.
Yeah.
It's usually pure luck
Yeah.
where you just open the right business at the right time and you make your money back in a year. But you usually
Yeah.
cannot plan that out. That we will make our money back when I open this business in 1 year. It's usually the average I hear from proposals like that is 5 years,
Yeah.
and then the good projection is usually 3 years, two or
Right.
three maybe.
Right. Right.
So anything below 2 and 3, anything definitely below 1 year, I don't think you can plan that out for a business.
Yeah. I agree. So,
Mm.
I mean, it's possible. It's just that,
Yeah, but you don't
you,
plan that out. It's
yeah.
rare.
Yeah.
It's very rare. I've never heard a proposal saying you will, other than the scams I see, you my text messages, the pyramid schemes,
Grabe,
those
no?
ones will give you
Yeah.
your money back in a year, and then they'll ask for it
Absolutely.
again. So
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
So just
How
just
to,
just keep that in mind. Go ahead,
the
Diana.
only way
Sorry.
to avoid it is to do it yourself. That's where you.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you know what's interesting with Bitcoin? When why I love Bitcoin is because Bitcoin is non-sovereign, meaning no government controls it. No
Mm-hmm.
government has control of a currency. That is amazing. It crosses all boundaries. All right, all
Paano na yung
borders.
China?
Okay, China can't control it. They're trying. They can't. And
Mm-hmm.
not only that, Bitcoin doesn't have a head office. There's no president of Bitcoin. There's no 1-800 number. There's no secretary. There's no one to call. It's almost, for lack of a better word, I call it a natural digital resource that
It's
was given to us.
mystical.
It's amazing. It is. It's
Yeah.
amazing. It's almost like an urban legend when you talk about Bitcoin now.
I like how some people are saying that now AI is incorporating the mystical world, and I'm like thinking maybe Bitcoin is one of them. You know
Oh,
what
but,
I
but
mean? Like some people, some scientists, they actually, like Greg Braden and Bruce Lipton, if you guys are familiar with them, Joey Dispenza, they really kind of question how are we crossing now spirituality and science, and
yeah.
then now like AI is really so incorporated in our daily life. What
Y-
if there's
Yeah.
a mystical form of whatever,
Well,
species, whatever,
well,
control?
you could be right, Diana, because you know what? Nobody knows who created Bitcoin. Nobody knows who released Bitcoin into the world.
I thought it
Until
was a
now,
There's
we don't
Japanese
know.
rumor.
guy. What's his name? The Japanese name?
The Japanese
So
something they say.
so the name is Satoshi
There
Nakamoto,
you go.
and it's a
Right.
Yeah, but
pseudonym.
it's a myth. I know.
Yeah, it's not his real name, and
Yeah.
nobody's heard from him ever since.
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Chris, can we dumb it down a little bit more? So for absolute beginners who listened to the show and said, "Chris, you sold me," but I don't know how to start. Do I go, because in the bank when you start, you open an account, you go to the
Yeah,
bank, you bring your ID. So how these people who just now got sold on cryptocurrency, how did they start?
Okay, so the beauty of cryptocurrency is that it's not like going to a bank physically, signing all these stupid papers, and waiting for an approval for you to be able to have an account, and then putting your money there, and then all of that. It's none of that. You can do it all online. You create an account with an exchange. I use two exchanges. One is OKX and one is Binance. If you want, I can send you my referral link so you can post it on this show on the
Yes,
comments
please.
so that people get it. Because I always tell people, make sure you get the right link. Kasi ang daming scams with the website names. So baka mamaya they type up Binance.com na hindi naman pala Binance, it's spelled differently, and then they get scammed. So you have to get
And,
the right link.
and
So
sorry, before I continue, dumb it down a little bit more. What is an exchange? You're telling people
okay,
to come to exchange. They might not know.
yeah. An exchange is where you can buy and sell cryptocurrency, much like the Philippine Stock Exchange, but this one's for crypto. And the beauty of the crypto exchanges that I mentioned, Binance and OKX, is that they're not regulated. Okay, so the government here doesn't have the control over them. All right, and that's the easiest and best way to be able to buy
And it's
crypto.
worldwide.
Yes,
You
it's
don't have to worry
worldwide.
about transferring this to a different country or whatever.
Yeah, actually, Diana, that's what I love about crypto is that because nga, it has no borders, I can literally leave the Philippines today and bring my little money of crypto into any country I want and live anywhere in the world. As a matter of fact, I'm looking at
Nice.
Portugal. Portugal sounds really nice right now. So yeah,
Nice.
There
Nice.
you go.
so
So,
Wow.
was I able to dumb it down ba? Was that
Yeah.
no? Okay.
Yeah.
ang dami kasi, ang dami kong ding questions, ikaw din ng Wims. Kasi it's so interesting. Like, there's so much, like, so let's say tomorrow, I try to convince my dad about it. He was like, it's a scam. Well, he's just, really, I would understand. He lives in Brazil, where the economy is so down, right? And, he's a businessman. He owns some showrooms of shoes and stuff. His showroom was amazing, like a 3-4. Basta, he's good in what he does. But when pandemic hit, his business was physical. So
Yeah.
I was like trying to tell him about it. He's like, "Oh, you guys are so young, believing in these
Yeah.
things. It's a scam." And I was like,
You know,
"Okay,
yeah, Diana, actually, now that you mentioned you're from Brazil, I remember,
Mhm.
Venezuela has a
Mm.
hyperinflation, right? That happened, right? And the
Ah,
hyperinflation, the value of their currency diminished by 95%. In other words, if you had $100 of Venezuelan money, it's now worth what? Less than $10. It's
oh my god."
ridiculous. And that happens all over the world. It
Mm-hmm,
happened in
mm-hmm.
Nicaragua, it happened in Nigeria, it happened recently in Lebanon. 99% of the value of their currency disappeared. They just
Yeah,
basically use money as to wipe tables with. That's how bad it is. So if you
yeah,
live in countries that have inflation and are poor countries, Bitcoin is a democratization, is a way to democratize money and to save people's assets.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Sorry,
agree.
I wanted to add an Vince pala that. So the easiest way about the exchange, right, is when you sign up for an account, it's that easy. You sign
So
up.
it's like an app
It's
for
an app. Yeah,
beginners
it's
to
an app.
use. Okay.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
then after
App
you
or
get the
website?
it's an app and a website. And after
Yes.
you
Both.
sign up for that, you basically just convert your pesos into USDT. USDT is the US dollar equivalent of the US dollar equivalent in cryptocurrency.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it's 1-to-1 with the US dollar. The USDT is what you use to buy Bitcoin or any other cryptocurrency. So that's it in a nutshell. That's how easy it is.
Okay. Okay. I,
I have another
I
question.
go ahead. You go ahead, Diana.
Can you predict Bitcoin's like?
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, so Diana, what's interesting? In December 2019, when I looked at the price of Bitcoin at $7,000 when I bought it, I knew it was going to hit $20,000 by December 2020. People told me I was crazy, and my friends I have some wealthy friends that even sinermonan pa ako telling me I don't know what I'm doing. That they've been investing since they were 13 and they know everything about money and I don't know anything and I'm just going to lose my money. Ganon. And
Grabe,
I
may
said,
hugot yun.
oh, may hugot talaga yun. May, Vince, I'm gonna post I'm gonna share that Facebook post I did in December 2019, talking about Bitcoin and how everyone told me it was a scam, and I'm gonna repost that this next week, and I'm gonna
Are you
remind
gonna post it with
everyone.
the chart of how much Bitcoin is worth then and now?
I don't need to. I'm not. I don't want to have to rub it in. I don't need to rub
It's
it
the
in.
second episode in a row that I love the prove me wrong type of thing. That's how it
Yeah.
works.
So, so Diana. So what happened was I actually did a video in December 2019. I posted it on my YouTube channel, and I said there on that video, Bitcoin's going to do $20,000 by December 2020. So I predicted it, and it did happen. And there is a chart that you can look at to determine where this
Like an
this
astrological chart. Just kidding.
it's more of
It,
an investment
how do
chart.
you learn it?
It's an actual investment chart created by an investment banker where they track the price of
Mm,
Bitcoin, and then they saw where it was going, and then they said, "Wait a minute, this chart, lines directly with the Bitcoin price historically," and then they charted it all the way to the future. So that's what I looked
wow.
at when I saw that. I said, "Oh, interesting. Based on this chart, Bitcoin's going to do $20,000," and it did. So remember that chart was only 2019, and today 2020 nakita mo gumagano na. So I was like, wow,
Mhm.
tama yung chart. And so based on that chart, Bitcoin's going to be $1 million by 2025.
Wow. Okay. Well, we need to invest
Okay.
right after the show.
You
My
did.
question, Chris, uh, of my many questions. Earlier you talked about don't give anyone your money for them to invest into it, but there are people who do that for the stock market,
Yeah.
where financial
Yeah.
advisors or financial experts
Mm,
or companies where
mm,
you give them either monthly or you give them a bulk, and they will invest into the stock market for you monthly, yearly, whatever, and they earn a percentage of
mhm.
your returns.
Right.
Why don't you or why isn't that industry around for the crypto market where someone will just take your money and then they'll invest it in Bitcoin and they get a percentage of that?
Well, there is. In the United States right now, there are what they call ETFs, so exchange traded funds, which is ETFs for Bitcoin, meaning these companies offer these funds that invest in Bitcoin. And you buy the fund, you buy a share of that fund, and you have a percentage of Bitcoin in essence. But for me, why buy a fund that invests in Bitcoin when I can directly invest in Bitcoin? And
Yeah.
you don't need a smart person to make money in Bitcoin. Like I said, you don't need to understand the technology. Do
Mm.
you understand how the internet really works, Vince? Do you?
No, no,
I'm not.
not
I don't. But I use it. We use it, right? We
right,
don't know
right.
how we're able to talk right now here, video streaming, right? But we use it. It's the same with Bitcoin. You don't have to really understand it. The technology is sound. It works. All you have to do is be a part of it. Join it. Go for it.
I guess part of my question is why don't you? Because there are people with money
Yeah.
out there
I
who
know what
just
you're
don't want
gonna
to
ask.
do it. Who
Yeah.
it's like, okay, Chris, I have $1 million. I don't want to sign up for an account at Binance, or I'm still afraid, but I trust you. Here, invest it into Bitcoin for me, and you'll get your percentage of it. I'm just curious why you, or why isn't that industry bigger here or whatnot?
Well, to begin with, kasi if you take somebody's money and you invest it for them, you need to be
Liable.
registered with the SEC, yeah, and
Oh,
you're
okay,
liable,
okay.
and you need to get a license and all of those things. You can do it without it, I think, but if there's something that goes wrong, you could go to jail, I'm sure.
Okay,
So
Mm.
yeah, it's just I just don't want that headache. But if somebody
got it.
really insists and tells me I'm going to get 10% of their earnings, maybe I'll say yes if it's a big enough amount.
Right.
Ah, that's good. Joke.
So
Alam mo na.
as,
Yeah.
as, as predicted, we are over the 40-minute mark. So, Diana, do you have a last questions before you give us a little summary?
I have so many questions but hindi siya kasha. Sobrang dami. Next time na lang or I'll get his contact or something.
Yeah.
Well, my summary naman about this, it's kind of hard to give. Well, wait, I will give you another question. As a coach naman, as a crypto coach, how do we like? Well, I'm sure we're gonna ask for more of that later, but how do you coach people in that
Mm,
way? Like, let's say I want to make my family invest. I want to invest, and then I want to make my mom invest and my dad invest, and so I like how does it? How do I get your services? Parang
yeah.
ganun.
So actually, recently, just a couple of weeks ago, I decided to come up with one-on-one consultations, which I do now on a regular basis. So people book a schedule with me. I
Mhm.
charge for a consultation fee, and then I help you onboard crypto. So I'll actually go through the process step by step on how you can put your money into crypto and why you're doing it this way, why you're doing it that way, what are the tips on how to do it properly, and all of those things. So I've been doing that for people on a daily basis now because I realize so many people ask me so many questions, and I'm like, okay, I gotta charge for this. This is ridiculous already.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it's
yeah,
a lot.
so I do the consultations. You can reach me through my Instagram. It's letter
Mhm.
I, letter M, Kristan.
I
So
follow
people
you,
can,
Sam.
yeah, I know. So
Diba?
so yeah,
Oo.
so you can, Diana, like for example, you can message me, and I can help you get on board crypto. And if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to help.
Thank you.
I'm always happy to help people and friends, uh,
Nice.
learn about crypto. And I've been doing this since 2020. Yeah, like I have a lot of friends that ask me about this, and then I talk to them. I'd meet up with them, explain it, because if I can help improve your quality of life, why not?
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
is that is what why we're all here, is to help each other have a better quality life. And I would love to have see all Filipinos, and actually people all over the world, have a better quality life, financially free, where they can do what they're passionate about and not have
Yeah.
to work for money, but let money work for you.
I
There you
love
go.
it.
Life coaching and crypto coaching all in one. Love it. Before we get to Diana's summary, Chris, I forgot, but because we've been talking
I
about
don't
money
have
the
a
whole pretty much.
summary today.
We've already been talking
I
about
care,
the
but
yeah, Diana always takes notes. I love it. We've been talking about the
yeah, I take
returns a lot, but pretty much on our show we ask you to show us the money. I don't know how you can. What else you can? We've already been talking about the returns. But yeah, I guess can you, for our listeners, can you give us a little bit more info about the money? Um, why don't you start and then I'll ask a few more questions related to that.
Okay, sige. So in crypto, as an investor, you just imagine na lang, I put, I bought Bitcoin at $7,000. I'm not gonna tell you how many I bought or how little I bought. Assume I bought 7,000 pesos worth of Bitcoin. So that 7,000 pesos is now worth 50,000
sorry,
pesos.
7,000 pesos, not dollars at
It's
the
seven
time.
thousand dollars. It's seven
Ah,
thousand
okay.
dollars.
Okay.
I'm just giving an example lang para lang
Oh,
to make it easy to understand.
yeah.
But I also do I actually am a day trader for crypto right now. I do day trading. So in day trading
Explain
for
that
crypto,
for beginners. What does
yeah,
day trading mean?
day trading is basically buying and selling cryptocurrencies, a lot of different types of cryptocurrencies on a daily basis. So I'll buy it at $1, sell it at $2, for example. And the volatility in cryptocurrency is so huge. Like in a day, it could go up or down by 10 to 20%. So that spread is massive that you can make a lot of money. So imagine if you're day trading, you can easily $100 a day, easy.
But for beginners, that's for advanced, because you could also easily lose $100 a day. So don't jump
You
into that right away.
I can't imagine how you could lose investing day trading, because
Well, if
unless
you
you,
guys do, don't blame our show. That's your
yeah,
own
yeah,
decision.
I have to actually add in, Vince, that I'm not giving financial advice.
Yes,
And
exactly.
do your own research. I'm just saying that in my experience, I'm lucky
Mhm.
that way, because I have not lost money in crypto because I buy low and sell high. I don't panic when the price goes down. I buy
And
more.
you did your own research, which is really
Yeah.
important.
K-
Kasi
So
otherwise,
for
people can
showing us
get
the
scammed.
money, how about this? Can I ask you, in your crypto journey, have you made over 1,000% ROI already? I'm sure it sounds like you've made way over 100%. So I I'm assuming you've at least
You
doubled
have to
your
show us
money.
the money.
Okay, but have you made over 1,000%?
Vince, look at the smile on my face.
We'll take that as a yes. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's there you guys go. So you guys need to start investing into crypto. So yeah, 1,000%. There are very few, if any, businesses that can get you that.
Absolutely,
That's
very
true.
few. So, but
So
yeah,
You,
I can I'll tell you, I can't. I don't want to disclose the actual percent. Besides, it's an insane amount. Put it this way: in 2020, my business is closed. Right, I had
because
no
of the
business.
pandemic,
Yeah, yeah. And yet, I had my best year in 2020 and 2021 ever in my
insane.
whole life.
wow,
More than
Wow.
more than my other business. Like insane, insane.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Good job.
So it
Thank
looks
you for
like Chris
sharing
will be
that.
selling his other businesses soon. If you guys are looking for a deal,
Hey,
Yeah.
I'm trying to sell my cars. I'm trying to sell everything, to be honest with you. I don't need it.
There you go. Wow.
No, no, no.
Nice.
Can I say, like, like I had a car, like I was selling, right? And my friend, I said, I'll sell it for 500,000 pesos. He goes, can I give you 400,000 for it? And I said no, because I felt like he binabarat niya ako. Now I regret it, because if I had agreed to that, the 400,000 pesos, if I had agreed to it, I would have put it in Bitcoin at that time. That
Mm.
400,000 would be worth 3 million right now. Kaya I'm like pissed at myself. I didn't say yes.
That's insane. So pretty much just get cash now that you can put into Bitcoin and it will just earn over time.
It will, yeah.
Wow.
5 years, minimum 5 years.
5 years.
5 years.
Mm.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, there you go. So this was an amazing episode. This was an amazing episode.
Amazing.
Earn 1,000% ROI. D, go ahead with your summary before we ask Chris
I
and ask
don't.
Chris our last question as well.
Yeah. I don't think I really have a summary for him, but I did do
Yeah,
a lot of
your key points.
notes. Yeah, like basically, if you guys, kung kakatutok nyo lang po dito sa Young Money Podcast, of course, we're talking with Kristen, and he is a crypto coach who is helping us and enlightening our mind to this new technology and this new world that we're getting ourselves into, whether you like it or not. So it's just like I love the example of we're using all of this social media and technology with it, like even right now. That's why we're able to reach each other right now, and we don't know how it works, but we believe in it. And since we believe in it, we're using it. Same thing goes for what he's talking about. And believe me, he has done everything. He's been into businesses. He talked about all of that. So if you guys just tuned in, please rewind and watch the full episode because it's amazing. And in probably less than 10 minutes, you're gonna be looking on your phone and googling it how to invest in Bitcoin right away because he just like sold us Bitcoin so well today. And it's not even like something you have to really hard do it because it's just amazing. Like it is the future. And now like I knew that already, no, Chris and Vince, but now the more like I'm naiinip, ako yung naiinip na parang, oh, bakit hindi ko na nagawa nung
Mm.
mura-mura lang, di ba? Nasisino ko na yung sarili ko. So I hope that if you're watching, you will feel like I'm feeling, and probably Vince is a little bit like that also, na parang, shit, sana na, nakuha ko parang ibang Bitcoin. Tama ba ako, Vince?
Right, right. Yes, I'm actually gonna go into my Binance and do
Yeah.
something after this.
But
So
Chris, we usually end the show asking for an advice, and last piece of advice you would give all our listeners right now.
So the advice I would give to everyone is do what I did in terms of keeping your mind open. I'm not the type of person that if you tell me something, I will always listen and explore. I never say no. I always say yes. Something I'm not familiar with, I don't know, I will say yes. That's my first reaction, yes. And then figure it out later. Ganun ako. Like Vince asked me to play golf. I don't know how to play golf. I just said yes. No hesitation. So
Nice.
I think if you live your life just saying yes to opportunities, opportunities will come. And that's what it means to be lucky, is keeping your doors open so that these great opportunities come. And this opportunity is here knocking on your door, and answer that door because that knock will not be there forever.
buti ka pa, Chris. I invited Diana to golf. She said no. But so
Yeah,
for our listeners, if they have more questions or they want to follow you or they want to get you as a coach, please share again how they can
yeah.
reach you.
Yeah. So they can reach me on my Twitter or my Instagram. It's letter M, Chris Tan. Or they can also check out my YouTube videos. It's youtube.com/Chris Tan is here. Or they can just type Bitcoin Buddy, and I'm sure I'm going to pop out. And on Facebook, they can type Kristan, Coach Kristan. They'll be able to find my Facebook fan page as well. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Diana. And I'll also leave the link to my to the Binance and to OKX so people can sign up. And that's how they can reach me. And then I can send them the link so that they can sign up for the consultation if they'd like that. So
Can I
There you
add on
go,
your
guys.
promotion? I'm
yes,
not
please.
you, but you, for our listeners, if you wanna also like if you're going through something, because he also talks about
Mm,
other stuff aside from crypto, which is to me is one of the things I've been working on ever since I had cancer is to convince the world that it's possible to heal without traditional medicine or with a combination of both. So check him out also for that, because it's a full-on lesson that you're gonna have just going over his YouTube. Back tip.
Thank you so
Joke
much, Diana. I
lang.
like
Extra
that.
promotion from Diana. But Chris, if you get new clients, new coaching clients from our show, the referral fee, me and Diana, we accept Bitcoin. Just FYI.
Oh, no.
We accept Bitcoin now, right? Dee?
I would allow him handle my Bitcoin as long as he has my
Uh,
percentage. Oh, you gave me an
I-
idea.
I'll do one better. I'll help you guys get invested in Bitcoin really fast, real soon. So just get in touch with me. I'd be more than
there,
happy to.
there you
Thank
go. Chris, thank you so much for all the advice for our listeners. Thank you for being our guest. Really appreciate you being here.
you.
And to our guests, thank you for listening. Hopefully, you guys are now. Hopefully, you will be earning, and hopefully, you can look back at this show a year from now, hopefully months from now, and say, "Wow!" From listening to Chris uh, on Young Money, I have doubled my money, or at least made a little
Nice.
bit from that, right?
Yeah.
So this I'm really excited about, because this was the easiest, because our other guests are mostly talk about businesses, and it's kind of it's gonna take a while to build their careers in those or
Mm,
whatnot. But for this, it's just
Mhm.
invest now and look back next year at the show again and be like, wow, I doubled my money or more.
yep.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for that, Chris. But yeah, we're way over. So my name is Vince from wheninmanila.com. In Sakto, we lost Diana. And on behalf of Diana Meneses and Kristan, thank you so much for joining us. This was the Young Money Podcast, and we will see you guys next time. Bye bye.